every once in a while, I get a model that's really dedicated into what she do as a model. And would you believe the model I'm featuring today drove 3 hours with a broken foot for our first shoot? Yes, a broken foot, y'all. Words can't explain how I felt when she drove from South Bend, Indiana to Chicago. Wow. Okay, for today's featured model, typically I call her by her Instagram name, but she do have a few accounts, so I'm gonna call her by her real name. And I put a link in the description of her account on Instagram. And if you go on Instagram and you see any of our image, give it a like. So today's featured model is Shaina. Actually, I am not the originator of this style of shoot. I actually had a friend to show me an image and asked me how this shot was produced. So I did a little bit of research and found out that this shot was done with black lights. So the challenge began. The first thing I had to do was take out all the lights in the studio, get rid of any ambient light that I had, and just have a dark black studio by turning off all the lights in my studio. The second thing I had to do was to create a dark environment for the model, even though I turned off all the lights because my studio is all white. So how I achieved that was I took my black backdrop and I brought it forward all the way toward me. And then I took 2 black V flats just to put around the model, just to kind of create a more of a shell behind her, just to knock off much light as I can to have that blacked out look that I was looking for. So for the lights, I actually took 2 lights and I put them behind my white V flat, like more of a 45-degree angle on both sides, just to kind of angle the light directly towards her, just to kind of zoom it right in towards her. That way I don't get light spilled off into the backdrop. Now that I had the setup and the lights that I was going to use, the challenge was, how was I going to shoot this project? So I went with my Sony a7R IV with my Tamron, the 28-75 at 2.8. For camera settings, I use the aperture of 2.8, shutter at 1/5 of a second, and my ISO at 100. My aperture and my shutter was a purposely thought decision because I wanted to make sure I got enough light into my camera. My ISO settings were on purpose because I didn't want to have any noise, because I know I was going to be shooting with an all black background and I didn't want to create any noise to add into my images. All right, now y'all on the information overload. I done talked about the model, the lighting, the camera, and my camera settings. Let's get into the behind the scenes of the Blacklight project.
I was lost, didn't know me. Introduced myself to codeine. 6 months was a dope fiend. Philly didn't even know things. There was a low me. Shoulda got it with a old me. Anything you ever told me, anything you ever showed me, I forgot it. Caused me drama. I used to stay on. Now I chase on. The highs with the lows. That's life these days. Bro chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy. Hit the highs with the lows. That's life these days. Bro chained up, he on lockdown. Phone call 3 ways. I just pray that he find God now. It's no replay. On my way up to the top now. That's on me, ayy.
That was a super amazing project. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. And to the next one, peace. Believe it or not, y'all, I use my hands all the time. So I don't know if that was kind of cool or anything like that, but I guess, I don't know. To the next one, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.